welcome to the special edition of the First Look Carryover Special. And that didn't even make any sense. Gino Bacola, we have what we would call a carryover palooza going into the weekend at Santa Anita.
I like that.
Many carryovers, Gino. Tell us a little bit about what we have looked forward to. And we have Monday racing this weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, special Monday racing, Gino.
They're calling it carryover city, carryover central, whatever you want to call it. Put your adjective on the end of it. We have 4 of them on Friday, 2 of them just at Santa Anita. That's the Super High Five and the $2 traditional pick 6 that we're going to talk about. And then both of the wagers that combine Santa Anita and Gulfstream Park, the Coast to Coast pick 5 and the Sunset 6, both of those are carried over. So we have 4 different carryovers to shoot for. And I think, George, you've got all the numbers on those carryovers, right?
Yeah, on the regular standard $2 pick 6, it's 45,583. On the super high 5, it's 35,706. And then we got a couple of 15% low takeout bets. The sunset pick 6, that new bet we got, 54,236. And the coast to coast pick 5, which that's going to be my biggest, concentration on, is 48,661. So a lot of excitement the whole weekend, but especially carryover Friday.
We just recorded a special bonus Coast to Coast Pick 5 show with myself and the Sniper that we're going to have drop on the Daily Racing Forum, all the social medias for a preview of that to help you out with the Coast to Coast Pick 5 for Friday, George, because I agree. I'm going to put a lot of my bankroll into that Coast to Coast.
Yeah, whenever somebody called the Sniper is doing a show, you got to watch, guys.
Absolutely.
Well, George doesn't have to worry about a sniper because he's got a background that he's sitting in a closet from 1984. But
you know that closet well, Chappie.
That's my own closet. As a matter of fact, I still have a few jackets in there that don't fit anymore. You can have them, George. But and welcoming in Seminar Skip, who's fresh off. Now, look, welcome to the show, Skip. I know you're a little upset. We're going to get off topic for 1 second. You were very happy that the Kings opened the season last night. Skip was a big Kings fan. They did get beat 4-1. So hopefully you're calmed down now. It's only one game, Skip.
Well, they opened up Tuesday and at home, and actually I took Nate Newby, and we had a really good time, but the game was awful. They lost 4-1. There was a couple of real good fights right in front of us, so that was a little exciting. And
it wasn't you.
What's that?
Wasn't you this time?
No, it wasn't me. Wasn't me. But then I tell you what, they went back and they played Vegas last night, back to back, and they were up 3-1. Then they were down 5-3. They scored 2 goals in the last 10 minutes to get it into overtime, and they won in the shootout. So we battled back last night. We showed a lot of heart, so I'm in a much better mood today.
No wonder
that happens to me a lot. I go to the fights and some kind of hockey game breaks out. I hate that.
I didn't see it. I was too busy watching my man Kyle Schwarber hit a couple of bombs, one out of the stadium at Dodger Stadium. So,
How best is that?
I know Willie Stargell.
I love when people are more happy to root against teams than even for their own. Like Chappie, that's when you know you're a miserable person. That your team is winning, and you're not even talking about your team winning. You're talking about the other team that beats the Dodgers, even though they're still down in the series. So, wow, that's how his brain works.
No. I don't expect anything this year from the Cubs. So this is just bonus coverage. We win a couple games. We might get beat today. 0 chance. They don't have enough pitching. And I'm a huge Kyle Schwarber fan. So that I always have.
After you go 0 for 22, if anyone's going to run into one at some point, right?
Yeah. But he did it a second one. So anyways, all right, let's get back on topic. We're talking about the Pick 6 carryover coming into Friday tomorrow. First Coast, 1 o'clock. But there are 9 races tomorrow. So the Pick 6 carryover starts in race 4 at Santa Anita. So, Gino, let's start with you. That is a maiden 20 going a mile. And what are your thoughts here in the first leg?
It's not an easy way to start because there are a few horses that feel like they should be at this level. This is the right spot for them. A horse like Eastwick, if you look at the races for this horse going just on the dirt, Look at the 3 dirt races. One of them was against much better earlier on in her career when she was behind Cash Call. And then the last 2 were very good runner-up efforts in similar type spots in low-level maiden races like this. I think the one Eastwick makes a whole lot of sense. The other horse that I'll mention in a race where you could probably use like 4 or 5 is the 6 Strawberry Tizzy, who I just like trying the dirt for the first time and getting another drop. I've been following this horse. She had some trouble in a couple of her early starts against better maidens. And then when she got the maiden 50 at Calbred level, I liked when they put her close and put her forward. That was her best race. I wouldn't be shocked to see her forward in here too. But honestly, I think these guys might have 2 or 3 other horses because they really do feel like 4 or 5 pretty evenly matched in this group.
Pretty evenly matched to start, but Gino's a lot of 1-6 in here. Skip, what are your thoughts here in race 4, which is leg 1 of the pick 6?
I thought it was a tough race. I'm going to use 3 in here. I'm going to use Eastwick, and Gino already talked about that one. So the next one I'm going to use is Thea. Tim McKenna trains this horse, dropping down in class. It's never been this low. Turf to dirt, he wins 24%. I thought that horse would be tough, and I'm going to use that one. And then the other one I'm going to use is the George Papadromo, Greta's Ghost. This horse stretches back out, and I think that will do it good. The last 2 times have been going short at Del Mar, drops down to the lowest level. Sprinter out, George wins 16% of the time. So I'm going to go 1-3-4 in here to start off.
All right, so 1-3-4 there. And Giorgio, do you have Caitlin Fever at all in your what do you think about? Are you a big Pacers fan, or is that fit on the sheets? I know you're a big sheets guy.
Yeah, but she said this is a great turf race. I love this turf race. This race is a great. It's not a turf race.
Yeah,
because everybody's PPs are just turf. Does anybody? None of these have any form on the dirt at all. Zero. Right. It's crazy. My top pick is Thea. I really like McKenna. I think he's a really good trainer. Super underrated. I don't think a lot of people are going, "Oh, McKenna, got to bet him," but I like him a lot. And Thea takes a huge drop, even though it's, grass, but they're all grass. So really, it's almost like handicapping a grass race. Thea takes a big drop from 50,000, first time ever for 20,000. That's got to help. And then I love Caden Clark. I mean, I'm sorry. That's the reason I watch, women's basketball, and I love it now. And I never watched it until Caitlin showed up, and now I love it. And I never saw one game in my life before her. And this one here is also dropping from 50,000. It's got Fresu for the first time. He's excellent. Peter Miller's excellent. So I like it 3-7, but this is certainly a spread race.
Yeah, like you said, a little bit of a puzzler. A lot of them dropping from 50 to 20, and almost all of them going from turf to dirt to start us off. So
the only one that would really shock is the 2. Honestly, like on paper, that one looks like
the only one
she's up against it. Any of the other 6 wouldn't really shock at all.
And that's the only all dirt horse, which is funny. But yeah.
We just put her in the winner's circle at 35 to 1, right?
Exactly. Well, then we'll be doing the double carryover show tomorrow evening.
Friday night. Kick right back here. Yep.
All right, Skipper. Leg 2 is race 5. We're going 6.5 furlongs down the hill. Optional 80, non-winners 2x. Good race here for the second leg. What are your thoughts here in leg 2?
This is my deepest race out of the sequence. I couldn't make heads or tails of this race. I'm going to use the 2 Practical Dream. This horse drops out of the J.C. Harris grade 3. That was just a week ago or a week and a half ago. That horse is definitely going to be on my ticket. I'm going to use the 3, the Drysdale Egyptian Mayo. That horse ran really, really good at Del Mar. Gosh, and a buddy of mine had that horse that day. It was 30 to 1, came flying on the outside. And I think that horse will really like the added distance. I know it has the race down the hill before, and it raced against Queen Maxima. We know how good she is. So the 3 Egyptian Mao is going to be on my ticket. I'm also going to put the 4 Jane Austen. This horse they paid $750 for. Won its first 2 starts very nicely. Then they put it in the grade 2 Summer Oaks back in 2024. Something must have gone amiss. They laid it up a little bit, come back, training well. That horse has got a lot of talent. So Jane Austen's going to be on the ticket. Also, I'm going to put the 6, Brit Tigers Magic. That horse is 2 for 2 on Santa Anita Turf Course. It's 1 coming down the hill. Peter Miller takes the blinkers off. I like that. There looks to be like there's some speed in here. This is a speed horse, but it showed 2 back at Del Mar. It can win from coming off the pace, so it's tactical. I like that. The other one I'm going to use is Get the Money. Brian Cornier trains this horse. It's been on the dirt the last 2 races at Del Mar and Los Al. Now it goes back to the grass. I think this is a better grass horse. It does have a win coming down the hill. And I tell you what, this horse is going to be on my ticket. I like that one. And then the last one, it's also eligible. I don't know if it's going to draw in or not, but if Home Game draws in, I'm definitely going to put Home Game on my ticket also. So I'm going to go 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. And if Home Game gets in, I'm putting Home Game also.
All right, so Spreadsville for Skipper. George O is firing away on today's races while doing the seminar, which I like. So, George, as you hopefully build some money in your bankroll right now, what do you like in the 5th race tomorrow?
All right, so you guys know I write Santa Anita hoy, sábado domingo.
Sábado domingo.
In the program every day in English and Spanish. The Spanish picks so much better than the English picks. They got a higher win percentage. But anyway, this is my best bet of the day in Santa Anita hoy, and I'm going to be singling him. And you know, my whole day revolves around this runner. Number 3, Egyptian Mao. And you look back and ran in South Africa against Give Me Another. It has to be related to I'll Have Another somehow. You got to think that. But Give Me Another is a beast. It won 3 in a row, grade 1s, grade 3s. So ran against monsters. Prior to that was running great. Then comes here, runs into Queen Maxima, and really had problems in that race to boot against Queen Maxima, or would have been closer, much closer. And then last race was just visually impressive. The way this one closed a ton of ground at 5 furlongs. I think 6.5. She's going to love it. She's got Mike Smith, who's like, well, he's like 103 years old, but he's still in the Hall of Fame. And it's my best bet of the day, my single everywhere. Egyptian Mao, 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 Mao. What was it? Deer Hunter? They slapped the guy. Mao, 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 Mao. Anyway, Egyptian Mao is the one for me.
From the 1980s bunker, George will be singling Egyptian Mao. Skipper is spreading. What are your thoughts here, Gino?
Mike looks really good for being 103. I would
Yeah,
say
like
He does.
fantastic. I do agree with a lot of what George is saying about the 3 Egyptian Mao. That horse, Give Me Another, who she was facing in South Africa, has come over here and is a graded stakes winner, won the John C. Maybe here at Del Mar. So if you were kind of curious where that South African form, like how good it was, well, that horse was really good, came over here and has won graded stakes races. And now this is a non-winner's a 2, an optional claimer for Egyptian Mao, who is also a previous group stakes winner over in South Africa. The way that her pattern is, right? She comes off of a long layoff. She hadn't run from March of 2024 to January of 2025. So she needed the race. She shows up. She runs a really good 3rd behind Queen Maxima in a race when she has a brutal trip. She has a bunch of trouble, no room. Then she's off from January all the way to August. So she needs that race when she shows back up. She still runs really well. She's only beaten a neck. She angles out. She closes a ton late. It should set her up so well for this race to come closing down the hill, putting 2 starts together, 2nd start off the bench. I think she's a major, major player. Opposite end of the spectrum, you got the speed of Bit's Tiger Magic. So I think, I have a horse that probably is going to be coming from way out of it. Then I have the horse who, if anyone clears the field, it might be this one. Get the Money is run really well down the hill. And if you notice, since running down the hill and winning that race, look at some of the horses who she's faced. AG Bullet is going to be one of the favorites in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Sweet Azteca is going to be one of the favorites in the Filly and Mare Sprint. She hooks Splendora, Nothing Like You. Those are really nice horses. This is major class relief compared to some of those fields. So I'll probably be 3, 6, and 8.
3, 6, and 8 for you. All right, let's move on to the 3rd leg. And George O, we go to you, race 6. 6 furlongs here, maiden special weights. And what are your thoughts? Bob Baffert has the favorite drawing the rail off of a layoff, and he's been holding the cards in many of the races here. What are your thoughts here in leg 3?
Yeah, so Baffert's got, like 3 runners in here. And in my eyes, I always feel that JJ Hernandez gets the pick of the litter for Bob Baffert. I could be wrong, I'm sure, obviously that's not always the case, but JJ Hernandez ends up on this one. They pay $2 million for this one. Not really working those bullet works that Bob Baffert's accustomed to. But I just think obviously $2 million is something there. And, I'm almost as old as Mike Smith. So, hey, Jude, don't let me down.
I was waiting for that one, Georgie. Yeah.
I was going to say, well, if the horse lays down, would they call it Hey Jude?
Anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude.
And hopefully, if there's room, they'll let him in, and then they'll let him out.
Oh man!
But I like the 3 inside runners. I mean, this is I don't know. It seems like either one of the 2 first-time starters, or midnight is working well. So my top 3 are the inside 3.
So crazy
inside 3 for you, Gino.
Because you look at about the Baffert runner, the number 1 into midnight, and when you think of horses coming off of long layoffs, they generally are probably going to need a race or 2, a couple races for most normal trainers.
Right.
Most normal trainers like Bob Baffert. The last 10, so it's over the last year with horses just like this in a maiden special weight after a plus 180 day layoff. He's 5 of 8. He's won with 5 of those 8. All 8 of them have hit the board. So 63% winners and a $3.20 ROI if you're just betting blindly on the Baffert runners. Like, that's crazy to do that off of a long layoff like that. So he really does bring these particular kind of horses back very, very well. This one's getting Lasix for the first time. And on October 3rd, outworked Barnes, who's not the greatest workhorse, but is a classy horse, certainly like a graded stakes type horse. And then on September 26th was 2 lengths behind Firmus and pushed through the rail and won that work pretty easily against like a first level allowance type horse. So just visually in the mornings, I thought Into Midnight was a little better than Jude just from what I saw in the mornings. But I mean, these are horses that all have talent. I like the 5 a bit too. This horse hopped at the start. Most recently, kind of bumped around at both sides. That was the first time in the John Sadler barn, was in between horses. I thought a real like educational race, something that this horse could learn a lot from. And if they go quick early on, this is the horse that could pass horses. So I might try to get out of this race going 1 and 5.
I'm sorry. I just don't. Alcindor, good jockey, whatever. But I don't know. He doesn't do it for me. Why is he on this?
I wonder sometimes with horses like this, if maybe he's been working the horse in the morning. Or, right? And he's kind of throwing him a bone, someone who's been very loyal to them for a while. There are things, that you made, but I agree with you. Normally, Juan gets the pick of the litter or the best one. I just didn't love what I saw in the morning quite as much from Jude. So I'll say, nay, Jude.
Yeah. Look, once in a while, I think it's like you said, they paid $2 million for Jude, maybe, which is rare, but maybe the thought is going longer. So JJ's taken this horse with the thought of going 2 turns, and maybe Abdul's been working the 1. And, like you said, once in a while he will throw him a bone and let him race in the afternoons. And that's the way they work into the barns sometimes. We've seen it with Van Dyke, with some other guys along the way. So, Skipper, what are your thoughts here?
Real quick, Jude's mom, Helena Bay, she broke her maiden going long. She did not run very well in her first 2 starts sprinting. And then she's Hey Jude is also a half sibling to Collected, who was a grade 1 winner, who won the Pacific Classic. Collected only debuted at 6.5 furlongs, which is kind of strange for Baffert. 6.5 down the hill when Collected debuted, and then won races like the Sham and the Lexington. So that horse was also better going long. So that might be right up the pedigree's alley, what you were talking about, Chappie.
We've already renamed the horse Hey Jude, but all right, Skipper, what are your thoughts here in which looks to be a pretty interesting race, the field of 7?
Yeah, it does. Jude, I think this horse obviously wants to go long. Gino just made a very good points about it. And then if you look at the workout pattern from September 5th, doesn't work again till September 20th. So that's 1 or 2 works there that it might have missed. I think they're just giving this horse a race. It probably wants to go long. I'll probably use it anyways because it's 2 million. JJ's aboard. I'm going to go 1-2. I'm going to use the 3. Nobody mentioned the 3. Mark Glatt trains this. Munnings wins really good first time out. I think it's like, I don't have the stat in front of me, but Gino probably does. But what is it, like 16% first out, Gino?
I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up for you right now. Yeah, keep going.
Okay. So I'm going to use Simple Song also, and then I'm going to use the 5, Coco San.
14%.
Gino already mentioned that. That horse hopped at the break, first out for John Sadler, came running late. Hector Barrios has been riding out of his mind. I tell you what, he's starting to become my favorite jockey out there, turf or dirt. And so I'm going to use that one too. 1, 2, and 5 for me. 1, 2, 3, and 5.
1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah. You made a good point. Everybody is in love with Hector Barrios on the turf. I think he's showing everyone that he can ride with anyone, anywhere out here. Turf, dirt, long, short, doesn't matter. And he's been very impressive. So, all right, let's move on to race 7. Gino, we're going back to you. 1 mile and an eighth on the turf. Optional 80. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, horse I think is going to run a lot better in this race than she did in her last start is the number 5, Hannah Buckle. So I was following along with her, but I think one of these horses that like you probably hit and then you follow along with them along the way after they win, right? So she breaks her maiden. Then in her next start back, she had a couple of months off. She didn't have the best of trips. She came back. She was pretty good when she ran 4th behind Mahina that day at Santa Anita. Then she's off for a while. She shows back up to start 2025. She runs really, really well on July the 19th. That was her first start as a 4-year-old. I was expecting her to take a step forward. Then on August the 30th, she was outrun a little bit early on because they were going a little quicker than she had been going in her last couple races. And she just got farther back than I would have liked for her. She was like 9th of 11 early. She was 7 lengths off. She makes this big 5 wide early move. Then at the top of the lane, she's out 7 deep. And she's still trying, it was a race to where the winner kind of separates. And then there's a lot of horses that are battling for the minor awards and she's not far out of that. I think she's going to be able to get placed closer in this race and just have a much better shot here. So I definitely wanted to use the 5. I want to mention the 4, Certitude is obviously, I think, very logical. Will sit close in here. And then the other one for me, the 8, Hopeful, ran really, really well first time in the country. Then July 31st had this no chance trip when this horse was wide and never had a shot. And they thought enough of this gal to step her up in the John C. Maybe. And there was not really very much speed in that race. She actually lost to Gimme Another, the horse that we were just talking about. And they just put her on the front end. I don't think she wants to run that way. I think she wants to come from off the pace a little bit. She's sneaky to me, getting back to like an allowance level after facing tougher. I'm going to make sure Hopeful's on the ticket too. Another race where I think you can make cases for a lot in here. 4, 5, and 8 are going to be in the mix for me in a lot of spots.
All right, Skipper, your thoughts here. Anybody else to add along with Gino's?
He didn't mention Paradise Lake. Paradise Lake is going to be on my ticket. That's probably my top play. I like that. JJ Hernandez jumps aboard again. He rode her twice before. Like Santa Anita turf course, both wins have been at Santa Anita. I'm going to go 4 deep in here. I'm going to go Certitude. I'm going to go Paradise Lake. I'm going to go Hannah Buckle. Gino made all those great points. I bet Hannah Buckle last time after that one win at Del Mar. And I tell you what, I loved her that day. And she was 9-2. And the trip that she got, it was just not a good trip, and then wide, and then making the big move. And, she only got beat 5 lengths. That was a much better race than looked.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go, the last one I'm going to put, like Gino said also, Hopeful. So I'm going 4 deep. Certified, Paradise Lake, Hopeful, and the other one, Hannah Buckle, the 5.
A lot of 4, 5, 7, 8s there. Georgie, anybody else to add? Maybe a sheet number that's sneaky.
My whole day revolves around give me another. I'm betting on everybody who ever ran against give me another. And so I'm using hopeful for sure. I think obviously Certitude, I think that sprint should set her up perfectly for this race. And here's a horse to consider. Number 1, Little Hidden Port. John Sadler is John Sadler, one of the best of all time. He doesn't put horses in races because he wants to see. He puts them in there if he thinks he's got a shot. Little Hidden Port debuts and Sadler puts her in a grade 1 race at Del Mar. Obviously ran terrible, but you think Sadler's like, oh, I'm stupid. No, he thought highly of this runner. And John Sadler's one of I respect him immensely. So, John Sadler puts him in there. He thought the world of him. He was, had a 2-race win streak going into that race from Argentina. He's dangerous. And in Certitude, he's got Hector Barrios. You got to use him. I bet him Monday in a match race at a barn near, I went to like a Latino ranch. And so he's wonderful everywhere. Grass, dirt, ranches. He's great.
All right, so Georgie putting a little twist in there, adding Little Hidden Port as we move on to race 8. Skip, back to you. 5.5 furlongs, 10 dime claimers, a field of 8. What are your thoughts here in the second to last leg?
I'm going to go too deep in here. I'm going to use the 1 Gypsy Lynn and the 2 Auditory.
Yes. So the one's out. Yeah.
The one's out. Okay. I'm going to go 2 Auditory. I like this horse. And why are we laughing here?
You just got your single.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, my single's in the last. I love a horse in the last, but I like Auditory here. These Los Al connections, Antonio Flores and Parisi, or however you say his name. Pirates. There you go. They good connections. They do very well at Los Al. He does have 2 wins at Santa Anita. He claimed this horse 2 back for 16. I think they're just dropping it in a perfect spot here. And I'm going to use Auditory. I think I'm going to single there because I only like the 1 and 2. The 1's out. So I'm going to end with 2 singles.
And who's the jockey?
Edgar.
Well played. There you go.
Well done. Georgie, your thoughts here?
I like, a couple of Los Al type horses, but I like Feisty Matoli on top, claimed by Chuck Treese, who another one that I think is a really excellent trainer, and first time in the barn, one for fun. So I'm certainly using Feisty Matola. I'm using the 6, and I'm using that Paya Papa Paris jockey on number 1, number 2, Auditory, Papa Pimple, whatever his name is.
All right, these races can be a little tricky, Gino. Do you have anybody else to add besides what they've talked about so far?
It's kind of funny because I agree with George on Feisty Matoli. For this type of a race, there isn't that much early speed on paper. A lot of these horses are quick. They can go. They're coming out of their sprint races, but there aren't that many horses who are all, really fast, get the lead, going 5.5 furlongs. I think Feisty Matoli is the quickest horse from the outside and can sit off a little bit. I just hope he can get the 5.5 because it's a little farther than where we've seen him at his best. The other horse who I want to mention, in case they do go quick early on, I want to have a horse who I know can come closing. Rose of Jericho is a little bit interesting to me. So just look at the races that he's coming out of overall. He's actually been in some of the tougher races. Like in June, he's in against 20 claimers and he's running 3rd in that race, right? And following that, he's against 12 5-claimers at Los Al and he runs a really good 2nd there. Then he's actually in one of those like protected starter allowance races that come up really, really tough because it's a place where a lot of the trainers can send horses like this that they don't want to get claimed. That are like really nice claiming horses. So they send them over there. And then last time Rose of Jericho was, got shuffled to last, was inside and really closed well. So I think she could get the trip if they go too fast early. I think Feisty Matoli is the one that gets the best of the speeds. I might try to get out of here with those 2. If I used one more, it would be Auditory. with Paella.
That guy.
Yeah. Paella. Paella.
Paella. Let's beat the crap out of him if he loses.
Edgar Paella. All right, Georgie.
Yes.
We're going to the final leg. Hopefully, we're all alive here and with the carryover. Race 9, state bred, Calbreds, a mile on the turf. What are your thoughts here in the final race?
I'm singling a horse here as well. So I got 2 singles, and this is one of them. It's number 3, Vodka. And if he doesn't win, I'll just get drunk, but forget about it. But
when if he does win, you can still get drunk too.
I can still get drunk.
It's your way.
There's a drunk in my future. My future, I'm gonna get drunk one way or another. But I really like this angle, and I play it a lot. Sometimes if I don't know a track or whatever, but a runner that was favored last time out and loses, a lot of people kind of tend to stay off him for whatever. Oh, he failed as the favorite, but Vaga was the favorite last time out, and I thought if you look at that race, had many excuses. It was a race that I think he either could have won or been a ton closer. From that race, he comes with a brilliant workout, best of 34. So I just think that Aggie's got this one sharp as heck, and I think he's going to get back to that winning way on August 1st, and I think he's clearly the one to beat. That August 1st race, he ran an 8, which was the best number, a thoroughgraph number in the race. Then he ran an 11 with trouble. Third start off a layoff is often a runner's best. I think he's going to explode through it, and he's, singling for me with Ken Desarmao aboard.
Well, obviously, trouble last time out. The time before that, off that long layoff, big giant horse just drew off, went straight to the front, and just was dominant. So, Gino.
What's funny about the running line last time out, like it looks like he wasn't anywhere close early. It actually wasn't the case. He broke really well, but there were like 5 or 6 other horses who were all right in the mix with him, and they had to make a decision. And so instead of battling with all those horses, they took back, and he ended up getting stopped multiple times behind horses. He tried to move up the inside, got stopped, and then you see him kind of really showing some good energy late. But this horse has a lot more early speed than it may look if you're just like peeking at that last race. So I think that's why they had him work like that in the morning, just to make sure they want to get him out, go on with it, because that worked very well with him. I have to have him on the ticket, but there are 1 or 2 others I wanted to include just in case. Winning Patriot was also extremely impressive, but the one that I think could offer a little bit of value here is the 1, Stolen Treasure. It's a horse who had been off from May of 2024 to September of 2025. After that long layoff, won at 6 furlongs, and this horse isn't even really as good sprinting on the dirt. This horse was actually better going longer on the turf. Look at those races on the grass when he breaks his maiden going long on the turf, and then in the Snow Chief running a really good third that day. So I think Stolen Treasure is a little bit interesting from the inside, could maybe be on the lead or could be sitting really close. 1 in the 3 and the 8 probably will be how I close this out.
Yeah, I agree with you. That looked like a prep run for the going long on the turf, and went wide and still won there with Stolen Treasure. Edward Freeman often doesn't get bet 8-1, could offer some value. Skipper, you said you have a single.
Before you say anything, I really respect you, Chappie. I really respect you, Gino. Gino. But I really respect Skip, and I can't wait. I really can't wait to see who his single is. I can't wait.
Okay, this is my best bet all day. I love this horse, but I will say, going back to the 8th race, Gino talked me into Rose of Jericho. So I'm going to put Rose of Jericho on the ticket. But this race, I love a horse. I love Winning Patriot.
Really?
I tell you what, I was down at Del Mar when it ran on August 2nd, and going in the gate, this horse looked terrible. It was dripping wet. I think it might even broke through the gate that day. But I know going to the gate, because I liked it, and I said, there's no way I could bet it. It looks terrible. Last time it had trouble, it came running. This is the 3rd race off the break. I love this. The workout on the 29th, I did not see, but one that they don't have in the form is October 5th. And this horse looks to be doing great, coming out of its skin. The flesh looks great. I love the work. It was 4 furlongs and 49 flat. This is my single. I love this horse.
I love it. We have dueling singles in the last if we're alive between Skip and Georgie. So maybe we got a little beer game going on there with 3 and the 8. But all right. Well, win or lose tomorrow. The last race goes off around 5:03. So at 5:10-ish, 5:15, we will be back on here doing the preview show for the pick 5 leading into Saturday. So
one time, can one of us be in a great mood after winning on Friday and not oh man, I got stuck behind horses, right? That's what you're going to hear tomorrow at about this time. I want one of us to be glowing and say we just connected on one of these carryovers, right?
That'd be
exactly.
great.
Yeah.
Hopefully tomorrow's the day.
Exactly. And I know today, when we get off the air, Gino will be watching the Dodgers.
Yep.
Skip will probably be watching some kind of a Kings replay or show or something like that. And George will be watching the Love Boat in Fantasy Island from his 1983 bunker.
The plane, boss, the plane.
With Hervé Villachez, and we will be back tomorrow. So good luck, everybody, with the pick 6 carryover. We'll see you tomorrow after the last race for a preview show for pick 5 on Saturday, and a big weekend with Monday racing as well. Good luck, everybody. Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's hit this pick 6.
Good luck.